Caesar's cabin has gotten another update since the last time I explored it. It it added some things like signs, it added some things like a bunker, a information about what used to be, and a little more about what's going on. I'm still confused about it, but as more time goes on, I think as soon as they keep updating the game, we can find out everything about what may be happening or anything strange happenings. I have a lot of information to share, so this is gonna be my first my first video that's like lengthy. So let's get to it. 3,345 years ago, that number will be important later, an ancient tribe used the properties Carbonara waterfall as a water source. We know nothing else about these ancient tribes besides their water source and besides the fact that they once occupied these lands. However, we do know about another tribe that occupied the lands about 281 years before the game started. In 1734, another tribe lived on the land. Its indigenous population was 3,345. Like I said, number will be important. These tribes had structures built all around the area. However, they were all torn down except for one. What you may sadly see in front of me is a cylinder tower that was obviously torn down of bricks, but not kind of any bricks. They're not red bricks either. They are bricks infused with blood. So I guess they had enemies. I guess they had like a problem with somebody, but maybe they wanted to keep them on the land for spiritual reasons, but we may never know. So what does this mean exactly? Actually, by the time I'm making this video, I have no idea. One of my theories about the tribes is the fact that anything spiritual might be going on might be related to the tribes. Although the only spiritual identity that I am aware about is Mother Root, who we'll get to in a bit. But I do think that it's the only thing I can think about. The tribes, they might have been the cause for some future lore, but currently I do think it's just about who lived on the lands before. Okay, this video is actually mostly based upon the Diamond Nature Reserves. Everything else is side information besides Caesar themselves and their little group. But the Diamond Nature Reserve seems to be prominent throughout the whole game. The van you're seeing was a previous truck that the Diamond Nature Reserves must have used to transport things out and in of the park themselves. The truck hasn't worked in years, so we can tell that Julie, Caesar, Mango has stuck around for a while. So all the signs we've already seen have all been written by Diamond Nature Reserves. All the signs we see in the nature reserve, we can also tell that this was also used for a campsite. Now, the weird thing is, for me, is I have had a meeting with Caesar, by the way. Forgot to mention that. Caesar told me that apparently they had quote-unquote built the campsite. But now I think you can tell by all this evidence I've given you already, that's not the case. Near the cabin itself, when we go inside the watchtower, we can find a... Okay, I'm gonna have to cut this explanation out like for a bit because the screen is so bright I literally cannot read it. All you need to know is that it explains that Tower 17, which is on the premises of the land, has been terminated, or the company has completely shut down the reserve itself. Now, I think this is why Caesar and his friends have it in the first place, because it was bought, which is what I thought. Wait, did I just rhyme? No, but anyways, why would the company leave their own truck? Why would the company leave the signs? Why would they leave the campsite itself? One thing I found out is that some of these workers actually believed in a goddess or a deity named... Now, I'm gonna be truthful to you. I know you've heard me stutter a lot throughout this video. You may have heard me say a little too many times. But remember, this is my first video that I'm actually trying to be serious on. But on my fault, on my end, this is going to be my fault, for some reason, I had this meeting with Mother Root. I've had multiple images I could have taken of Mother Root, but I guess I decided not to. So instead of images, I have to talk to you. Mother Root has been described as the goddess, as a deity. The only believers, quote unquote, are the Camp Rangers and Julie. I don't think Caesar and Mango really care about Mother Root, but from what I know, Julie has a library and has a book about Root, or that's what she says it's about, but I think it's about Mother Root. She did explain to me that she thought some of the camp rangers were crazy for believing this. And so she told me that she believed it herself. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? You just said you didn't believe it. But nonetheless, she believes it, I think. So Mother Root seems to be stalking the cast, seems to be watching them, because she's this entity that just looms over this park. My friend, Souls, hi Souls, if you're watching this, likes to call her the heart of the forest. She is the heart, she is the brain, she is everything. Now, an actual theory of mine is that she is connected to the number 3345. Now, I get it, you may be like, no duh, but I'm saying because of the fact that we don't know who it's about exactly. It might be about the tribes, it might be about the waterfall, it might be about the diamond, but I think it's about her. 3345 appears a lot throughout this game, and it's crazy about the fact that there's no clues, there's nothing. It's just this number that appears. That's the only thing that seems weird about this place. Well, except for the bunker. This bunker right here. This kind of backs my theory up that I think the Diamond Nature Reserve isn't just a nature reserve, and it might be this whole little company that does stuff with nature, like experimental stuff. This bunker may lead down to whatever the answer for 3345 is and why it's prominent throughout the game, but we don't know yet. Alright, well that's the end of the past of Caesar's Cabin. I won't be getting into the current Caesar's Cabin, like what's happening right now with Caesar, Mango, and Julie. Maybe I'll do that in a video where I'm actually have a script and I don't make up things along the way. If you're hearing this part, it's either you skip to the end or you're a friend that, you know, likes watching my videos. But yeah, this was just for fun. This is not what I want to do in the future for my YouTube account. But I really love this game. I really love Caesar and his friends. They're doing amazing. You're doing amazing, sweetheart. But basically, this is great. I love this game so much. And I recommend you check it out on Roblox, okay?